Welcome to the voice chat, Nemo. Feel free to
Placebo. Welcome.
feel free to take the stage.
You promised this last time that today you will have a headset and you will answer the questions not only by the text.
Hello. So, how's it going?
Good, thank you, Smaller.
Smaller.
You are on the top now.
Yes, thank you. So, is the cyberphone come to talk or no?
We have Nemo here, but everyone else are still not here.
Well,
Kostya even talked that he know nothing about today's meeting.
Не, ну если разговора не получится, мы просто все сообщество получает месседж, что киберфонд недоговороспособен, и тогда непонятно, о чем речь. Рейдерский захват, блокчейн, все дела, в общем, такое.
Я просто вчера, в прошлый раз под конец в метро ехал, поэтому не слышал, о чем договорились. Как бы все слышали, что Костя подтверждал вторник или нет, потому что...
Он присутствовал при этом разговоре.
Не, ну видишь,
и поддерживал Сергея при этом разговоре.
Да, до самого конца поддерживал.
То есть он голосом, просто он пишет, что он отключился, когда Сережа пришел.
Да это не важно, мы же тут присутствовали тоже, что он пишет или не пишет, как бы он присутствовал при этом и поддерживал Сергея. Когда Сергей говорил про вторник, он сказал, его слова были, да, во вторник будет всем удобно.
Да, это святая правда.
We just talked about that he refused, let's say, he told us last day when we meet here that he will be at Tuesday with the cyberphone. He approved the Seryoja wish to meet on Tuesday. And now, as I see from the screenshot from the chat, he said that he know nothing about the Tuesday and he leave earlier than Seryoja come, but it's lie. It's just lie. We all was here and all hear what he say.
This is just being unprofessional, you know. When people schedule meetings and never turn up for them, that's completely unprofessional. I mean, screwing your investors is one thing. I mean, yeah, that's really bad stuff. They could, come and say like we're not doing that and go and reach a consensus, but just coming to arranging a meeting and never turning up, that's...
We all agree on that, but Nemo is here now, and many witnesses are here now, so let's keep
Is Nemo able to make decisions on behalf of Cyberfund?
He's a developer that is able to make a code in which we can peer review and accept or reject. I'd say he's a good ally to the blockchain and to reason.
We'll keep you in the loop.
If Nemo can write the code everybody wants, then Nemo is your guy right now. Try again, Nemo.
Ты пропадаешь, Нима.
I just wonder why Nemo was here, but not Serozha, not Creator, not Hipster, not anyone from Cyberfund, just Nemo. While he's just, making a code.
Sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 40 Russians, maybe more. Come on now, speak on this shit. Well, while you are so silent, I must say I am glad to see that today is not like the first time we met here. It's not that much. I think people are finding understanding each other. You guys have come a long way in a short period of time. Nemo.
Not really.
Wait.
Hello guys, can you hear? Are you hearing us, guys?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Nice. They are Cyberfund goals. You're at GOLOS Hardfork.
So let us make a consensus point by point. You got say you're
Who is on that desert? I believe. Okay.
Yeah, so we're waiting for the list of some trouble points, and that's what we want to discuss. What is the trouble?
Представился кто здесь?
No, sir.
Hello? Anybody? We're in quiet room.
Why you can't just come by your accounts separate and don't talk from one account so we understand with whom we are talking now?
But it's not convenient for us. Sorry, but we don't have good internet connection here. So we have to communicate via Misha's computer.
Who is this talking?
I can tell you who is here if you're so much interested. Wait, so somebody's calling me. Excuse me. No, I can't. Can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, so basically I'm Marinis from Cyberfund here, Vitaly from Cyberfund as well, Valery from Cyberfund, Mikhail from GOLOS Hardfork, and Alexander from GOLOS Hardfork.
And serve myself.
Yeah, it's gone.
You bet.
So yeah.
What
This
exactly?
is
So we have Marina, we have Alexander, we have Misha, and we have who else?
Just write it in the chat who are from this account talk with us.
Guys, can you hear us? Can you just,
Yes.
because we have to understand that you can clearly hear us.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, but please write down.
Yeah, we will do. Just a sec.
Okay.
Cool.
May you, Misha, please describe what we discussed
Right.
for development, please. Oh, guys.
So let me screenshot what Arcane wrote, which is a pretty point-for-point list. You guys can see this?
Repeat question about. Someone, please repeat what you are talking about.
Yeah, here's a list point by point. All right, let us see. The key is changement. It's not a crucial point, right? If you got a consensus, we need to remove that from the list. All right, I'll remove it. You know, nobody's gonna argue just because it's, you know, it's like a personal wish, right? You got a consensus, not a trouble. What about that? What about key changement? Another point. Another point is simple things like power delegation and all this stuff. Hey guys, you got it in the Hardfork coming. Well, what do you want? You got all the stuff. Just test it and help us to release it.
Okay, please explain why your code is better than the Steam.
I think this is an irrelevant question. Seriously,
Serежа, please. It's very relevant question.
It's absolutely irrelevant.
You know, you got two leading developers in here of the core team, and what do you want to know exactly? You know, you got 10 years of education and 10 years of experience to understand why it is better. Well, all right.
If the Steam code is somehow better, and you can just find out what features you consider to be the better features, you can just do it. And if you have or found something in GOLOS code that doesn't satisfy you, then you can also point this out. So just give us an example of what you don't like.
Why you decide to change the code base? Who give you permission to do so? With whom you discuss so?
Can I please sum this up? There are some questions regarding to the promises that you gave to the community during the ICO. They include the escrow for money and the transparency that you promised us. They include following the Steam base and working on improvements that are going to be merged into the Steam code. They include, having a consensus with the community before making drastic changes. That's something that is okay for a start. If you can explain us those three little points, please, I would beg you to do so, because that is something that we need cleared before we can proceed any discussion about the code itself. I mean, you have obligations. When you gather money, you take obligations on yourself, and you were staking your reputation into this. So your reputation is on the stake. Please answer those three simple questions. Thank you.
Sorry. If you can just be a little bit more attentive to what is happening right now, so you will see that we are doing, and I explained it already in different talks with different guys. So that basically want to make GOLOS blockchain one of the most relevant to the blockchain community, blockchain system. And then
but you never asked the community.
Stop! I won't talk with you if you will interrupt me. I'm talking, you're listening. You may ask questions afterwards. So the first thing, yes, we decided to develop blockchain, GOLOS blockchain differently, just because we wanted to be a blockchain comparable with the Ethereum blockchain or EOS blockchain. Yes, we need to do a lot of things in order for this to happen. And the first thing that we did the refactoring of the whole blockchain, just because the original code base was very bad indeed. And we did introduce a lot of new features, and we will introduce more features just because in order to be comparable with the Ethereum code base, we have to introduce new features and we have to develop this blockchain differently. Yes, we need to to develop smart contracts. We have to develop community tokens. We have to do a lot of different things. Why? We want to be competitive on the blockchain landscape, and we don't think that copy pasting Steemit will be a good strategy for us. We do think that we have to differentiate from Steemit code base, and we do think that we have to go a separate way, and we want to go this way. So basically, yes, we are going in different direction. Yes, we won't copy Steemit just for the sake of doing this, and yes, we will introduce new features, and for this we need a different code base, and we are very thankful to the GOLOS code developers because now we have a basement on which we can just do a lot of things. Yes, and in terms of what was promised. So if you reread the original terms and agreements, you will see what was promised to you when you difficultly invested money into this blockchain. Basically, when you bought tokens, because there were rights and obligations connected to the tokens, and now we didn't do anything that will somehow just somehow.
I'm sorry, I have a question. Can I ask a question, please?
Yep.
Yep.
Thank you. So, do you understand that when we're talking about blockchain space, about cryptocurrency, that the trust of the community does not only rely on the legalese, only on the this document that you use to cover your legal basis, but also it also depends on what you as the team who made this happen proclaim. That you say, like, we are going to do this, we are putting our reputation on stake and stuff like that. And do you understand that if you break this trust, if you break this trust, then you are actually in a breach of contract? It doesn't have to be written contract, does it?
No, stop. No.
Okay, stop. You already talked. Stop. One question. Who are we and why we is you?
Скажи по-русски, Дима.
I can repeat. Why you think that you are is a kind of majority that decide what to do in the decentralized organization? Why you think that one entity can do this?
So, guys, can you just, it's not funny at all because you're asking questions one by one, so I can just keep answering them if you want me to answer them, just stop asking one question after another. The first question, so in terms of breaching the agreement, no, we don't think that we breach any agreements. So, because we do believe that GOLOS blockchain, which will be comparable and competitive with the Ethereum blockchain, will just give enormous benefits to the whole community and to delegates as well. So we do know that it's a big deal to launch something comparable to Ethereum blockchain, and yes, we do understand the risks, but we want to go this way. I mean Cyberfund, of course. So and in terms of who we are, so we're just those guys who launched this blockchain, as you know perfectly well, and then we do have stake at this blockchain. And
it's not true. It's not true. The blockchain was launched by the delegates. You just start ICO and promise get, let's say, leave the community with the decision by the community, and don't interrupt the decision by the community by directional involvement in these decisions. And for the 1 year, you broke this obligation that was told not once before the ICO and in the ICO, on the public chats, on the public voice chats.
Guys, sorry, but what are you talking about? You don't, either you don't understand English or you're talking just nonsense. When I'm
actually we do understand English.
That Cyberfund, stop talking just when I'm talking. When I'm talking that Cyberfund has a stake at this blockchain, I can translate you in Russian if you don't understand what I mean. So, it simply means that
this stake was given you by the Genesis. This stake was given you by Genesis. You don't put money in your stake.
I'm sorry, it is like this. You take this stake because you agree to abide by some terms that you and the community came to the conclusion that is favorable to the role of the community. So you have this stake because you are taking some obligations on yourself, but you are in the breach of those obligations.
Guys, once again, so in terms of obligations, we do believe that blockchain comparable and competitive with the Ethereum blockchain will benefit the whole community.
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt.
Sorry. Can I just continue a little bit?
Okay.
And then, so we have a stake at this blockchain, and we want, as the investors, one of the biggest investors in this blockchain, we won't do anything that will harm this particular blockchain. So we are, as you all know, one of the biggest investors in different blockchains. So, and we do understand how these blockchains usually develop, and we do understand what are the processes behind the development of different blockchains, and we do understand the difficulties when they encounter when they just play around with the community thing. So we do believe that the investors like us who have a big stake at GOLOS blockchain, they want this blockchain to be one of the most successful blockchains in this particular space. And we do think that the copy-pasting of Steemit,
I'm sorry.
We have to find the different strategy. And we found it. So, and yes, we know that.
I'm sorry. I have to. You made your point. Can I please intercede, because I want to ask you something as well. I understand your point, but you are not answering my point. My point is that we are in a decentralized organization, and this decentralized organization depends on consensus to do things like that. But you are breaching that consensus. You're breaching the trust that was put into you by us, the investors.
Stop. I don't think that we're breaching anything. So we do have delegates, so you know the names. So these are their suggestions in terms of new hard fork, in terms of the next hard fork, etc., etc. And all the delegates, they can vote on the suggestions. So right now we can talk and discuss one particular thing. I don't want to discuss anything else. So we do have delegates that can vote for the for what it is now to vote, and this is the next hard fork. So this is what we can discuss right now. Anything else is out of scope.
Okay, I have a question for you looking forward. What kind of hard fork would you like to see? Would you like to see linear rewards?
Right now, we want to have this hard fork happening, and taking into consideration the fact that this hard fork have been in development for 7 or 8 months, so we want it to happen as soon as possible. So no, we don't.
What linear rewards?
May I answer, please? So we don't want to see linear function in this particular hard fork. So we want to have. Just a sec. May I finish my question? May I answer? Sorry.
You're not answering the
question. We don't want to see linear function in this particular hard fork. In parallel to what we are doing right now, we are modeling. Just guys, please listen. It's very important. We are modeling different functions in terms of reward distribution. So we made a model. So our analytic department did this job. So and we want to analyze which function will bring the better results in terms of reward distribution. So we have data, and we will model the results. So we won't choose the distribution functions just picking linear function.
Well, there is a concern in the community that when you have delegation of Steam Power and you don't implement linear rewards, you are opening up the system to be gamed by the big players. That's a big problem. You have to address that.
Yes, and if you just be more attentive, you will understand what I mean. So we really want to find out the best function. So if we want to model this, so we have our analytic department working on this particular issue, addressing this particular issue. So we will.
We already have analyzed it, and we know what is going on here, and it's a problem if you have delegation without linear rewards.
Guys, so have you the comparison of this linear function with the logarithmic function, just basic logarithmic function? Have you the comparison of this linear function with the just any other function?
Do you recognize the problem? Excuse me. Do you recognize the problem of implementing delegation of Steam Power before you implement linear rewards? Do you understand the problem?
How?
Please let me tell you. We got an analytic department which is modeling all the distribution functions, but we will can we publish the results?
Yeah, we will.
We will publish the results, and you will see the comparison. Yeah. And that we're not afraid of implementing the linear reward curve if it shows itself well. We're not afraid of implementing the logarithmic reward function if it shows it well. And we just want to investigate it. We want to, research.
You don't have to investigate
we will publish the results.
Excuse me. You don't have to investigate this particular item because the entire community understands that the principle behind having this delegation and non-linear rewards is a problem in itself. Because now you can pool together huge accounts and thereby completely skew the votes. That's a problem.
Reward pool.
Yeah, okay, guys. Yes, we do understand this particular issue, but now we won't introduce linear function without analyzing and modeling other functions. So if you have any comparisons, if you did these particular comparisons, if you have the results, just please publish them. We will look
excuse
at
me,
your
the result is exactly what I explained to you. That the system can be gamed.
Come on. Now, I'm not talking about delegate issue and linear function. I'm talking linear function as a distribution function for the rewards. We don't want to introduce linear function just because it's somehow good in terms of delegation thinking. So we want to find the best function. And we don't actually think that linear function is the best function. We want to do the analytics first. We want to introduce something that we can't tell you and we can't tell us that it is the best option possible.
Why you can't build your private blockchain and test it there? Why you test it with our money? It's not a toy. We are not the fucking hamsters that you can test it. Build your blockchain, separate for your money and test there. Why you play with our money?
Guys, but we are invested in this particular
we also invested in this particular blockchain.
A lot of money. So it is, you can't say that we can't do anything.
We can say that we can.
Do you want
We
the
actually can
community?
say whatever we want.
Excuse me. Do you want the community to join you in a shared effort to push this project to success?
Yes, exactly. And if you want very nice, then please give us results. Please do your part of analytic works. Please do your part of coding and show us. This is it. If you have something in terms of analytics, just make it public.
But
if you have something in terms of
it's logic that if you have non-linear rewards and you have delegation, you're opening up.
Guys, I don't want words. I want formulas and I want results of these formulas being
excuse me,
just
if you're
applied
going
to some particular
reject
issue.
common sense in the conversation, how can we get anywhere?
I don't understand such a thing as common sense. I do believe in data. If you can prove me with your data that linear function is better than logarithmic function,
you have money from the ICO. It's you need to prove your point.
No, guys.
Hello.
Right now, you're talking about
Excuse me. What is your standard of good?
Sorry, guys.
Excuse me. What is your standard of good? Because you want data to show something, but what, in your definition, is the standard of the good in this case?
I don't know, because I can't just I don't have data. This is it. I have a set of
Marina,
right now. Yes.
Marina, let me moderate a little bit here. Everybody get to ask a question, but don't ask in the mouth of each other. And I'd like to say I'm very happy to see that so many people are here today. It is the love for the blockchain that has brought everyone together, and now you have communication. So yeah, please continue.
Yes, I have a point with respect to your analytics and your data, because if you don't have a proper standard by evaluating any kind of data, you don't know what you're looking for. You need to know what is the purpose of this project. Is it one Steam, one vote? Or do you want to
Stop, guys.
give extra power to the big holders, because that is a problem in itself.
Yes, guys, we don't understand this. If you listen to me a little bit more careful, you could have noticed that the purpose of this investigation is basically to figure out what is the best functions in terms of reward distribution.
On what
So
standard?
What?
You say best. By what standard is it best?
By standard of making the end distribution more even, but at the same time not open for abuse.
Well, that's linear rewards right there.
Well,
Yeah, I don't think so. Sorry, but I don't think so.
Let's think about a middle thing, because we have experience from linear rewards over at Steam, and we have experience of the exponential N2 reward curve. Personally, I'm thinking that N1.2 could be an interesting thing to test out, for example.
Yeah, but okay, we're talking right now only about investigation and testing and doing this whole thing. So, and without this testing, investigation, etc., we won't introduce anything. So, and we won't just accept the linear function because it was introduced by Steam.
But you just gave us your standard. You want even distribution, right?
No, I told you more even, not even. Sorry, but you didn't hear me.
So you don't want even, you want more even.
Yeah, I told you that we want that is better than current distribution, but which is not even.
You know, it is okay to say that we'd like there to be a game in the system. You know, I think that it is fun to have the exponential reward. I know how to make money on it, and so do everybody else. But I think it is too exponential. We might have to moderate it a little bit.
Well,
can you repeat this please once again, because we didn't catch the last thing Peter said.
First, I can says to moderate the function a bit. But the problem, the fundamental issue is that when you have delegation of Steam power and you don't have linear rewards, then you make it very, very easy to pool a lot of power into one single account that then has extreme influence, and that's an issue.
Yeah, okay, I don't understand this, but then now we want to introduce a linear function right now because we didn't do testing. And if you have any results of the testing you did it with different functions, then please just let us know about it, your research, and let us know the results. So we will compare them. We will do the same thing, but more quickly. And this is it. We will figure out whether or not we agree with your results.
So you, for 8 months, not investigate the difference between the linear and the curve that we have now in GOLOS?
Come on, we want to investigate all the change. We want to investigate
8 months,
differences.
guys, 8 months.
8 months.
For 8 months, and the example of Steam, it's very easy to investigate.
No, we didn't investigate, and you as delegates could do this job. You know this, so you are the part of this decentralized system. So you're welcome to do whatever you think should be done. So in terms of this investigation, you had these 8 months.
You will
Excuse
pay
me,
me.
guys. The disagreement is not in the investigation, it's in the standard, because you don't want equal linear rewards. You know, you don't want a more equal distribution of voting power.
Sorry, we want more distribution, but we don't think that linear function is the best function for this particular theme.
It's quite interesting to see that there is quite a lot of people within the system, including some delegates, who are actually against union rewards. Personally, I'm in for union rewards, but maybe and what Marina is trying to say that there is another.
Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? There's a lot of people. Who is it? That against the linear rewards.
Right now I can see at least one person right there in the conversation.
One is not a lot.
I've seen posts. Okay, let's not be small and try and start counting.
I really want to understand your position, guys.
Nobody interrupted you. Can I please finish? What I'm trying to say is that maybe the analytics team will find a more equal and better reward system. And just getting something that wasn't tested, maybe that's not right.
Yeah.
That's what we are trying to say.
You keep using the word better, but let's agree on the standard of good here, because I want to get down to the issue of why do you hold the position that linear is not desirable?
We're not saying linear is not desirable.
If you have a comparison, I can just repeat it 400 times or whatever times you want, how many times you want. But if we don't know, we have to do proper job in terms of analytics.
Yeah, but you have to choose a standard, excuse me. In order for your tests to make any sense, you have to choose a proper standard.
This is it.
What is your standard?
Guys, I don't, so we just, if you want to discuss something several times, you can do it by yourself. I answered your question in terms of what we want to have as a final go.
It's unclear what your standard is.
You can just hear this whole thing once again. I won't repeat. Sorry, but I don't want to spend time on this.
Marina,
yes.
What people are interested in is a human explanation of what it is that you want. I mean, we all want GOLOS to succeed. We are not here to argue about who has the largest whatever. I for once will support anything that is, getting levered and getting into balance. Those are important for all investors, new and those that want to join GOLOS as investors, when they see that the investment is on somewhat stable code and stable ground. And I think that we need to take one step at a time, so that everybody understand, not in code, but in keynote, in PowerPoint presentations, so that everybody feels that they are on Team GOLOS and that there are no divisions here. Thank you.
Yeah, Arkansh, thank you for your suggestions. But right now, definitely, I don't think that it would be a good thing to just set this presentation theme, because we have a very burning issue that I want to discuss. This is the hardfork that we need actually, and that have been developing in development for the last.
Why are you so sure that this hardfork is passed by?
Можно я? А то уже много раз спрашивали, можно ответить по-английски. Собственно, я вот сижу, слушаю, там, мы решили, мы хотим, не как в делегатах.
Sorry, can you talk in English, please? Because otherwise, just some delegates, they don't understand you.
Можно ответить по-английски. Вопрос такой, вы говорите как...
Sorry, but sorry. Either you're talking in English or I'm not answering you.
Ребята, нельзя ли говорить реально на русском? Этот проект запускался для русскоязычного сектора.
Yeah, sorry, but then we have delegates
I don't
invested
understand
in
Russian.
dollars
No.
and they don't understand Russian. Sorry, but
Марин, ну хватит, давай уже командовать. Ты понимаешь, как-то странно получается.
I'm
У нас
not.
блокчейн,
No,
или культура,
guys,
понимаешь? И у нас контакт на блокчейне. В конце концов, у нас есть люди, которые могут перевести мой вопрос, а ты можешь ответить на английском. Давайте как бы уже заканчивать командовать. Непонятная система получается. Вы решаете, что делать, как бы остальные все сидят и слушают. Мы решили, мы то, мы сё. Я понимаю, у вас большие стеки, вы молодцы. У вас там в киберфонде 5 человек, остальная толпа – это ваша команда. Вы за всех решили. Вы обещали на ICO, что вы будете прислушиваться к сообществу, что вы будете общаться с делегатами, там, что еще что-то. А тут получается, у нас, например, постов на голосе про линейность уже достаточно много. Ты хоть один прочитала? Я уверен, что нет. Мы напишем 10 постов, ты их не будешь читать, тебе некогда. Вы нам докажите, покажите. Ну, уже показано, там, вот Оникс написал пост про линейность, показал, как изменится выплаты. Кто-нибудь из вас пришел в этот пост, кто-нибудь прокомментировал? Нифига нету. С делегатами команда ядра не общается, никто не общается. Ну, ребят, ну если это на 5 ваш блокчейн, ну так и скажите, все, и тогда смысл вообще всей этих дискуссий-то, я что-то не пойму. Канала связи нет, реального обсуждения даже ваших планов нет. Вы скажите, мы хотим сделать то-то, то-то, мы вот промоделировали там, у нас такие-то предложения, давайте это обсуждать. А то получается, что вы тупо делаете, как бы ни с кем не совещаясь, а потом говорит, ну мы так решили, у нас большие стеки, мы молодцы. Но только почему-то 9 месяцев назад вы совершенно по-другому разговаривали.
Sorry, but I have to answer in English.
Why don't you just
Of the
translate the
cycle,
question and answer it?
And then yes, we do have a stake in GOLOS blockchain, and yes, we wanted this particular blockchain to be one of the most successful blockchains. In terms of our plans, yes, I can repeat it in English. Sorry, but we have delegates here who don't speak Russian.
That wasn't the question.
So then we have to develop this particular blockchain to be competitive with the Ethereum blockchain. We do want to have smart contracts in it. We do want to have community tokens in it. So we did I'm repeating.
I think we can get all those things in.
I do think that the most important thing right now is to have this particular hard fork happening and as quickly as possible, because this will give us a chance to be successful in terms of implementing smart contracts and in terms of implementing community tokens on a new basis. Yes, we don't think that just copy pasting what Steam did is any way to any success. Yes, we are very open. GOLOS team is very open to all code proposals, to all analytics from you
You're
guys.
not answering the question.
You are.
I'm sorry, Marina. Please hold on for a second. I'll translate the question so you can answer that. I'm sorry that I have to raise my voice. I talked for several days at Steamfest. My voice is a little bit sore, but you are not answering the question. The question was, you keep saying we, you keep saying yes. We have, we all know that you have a big stake and you're interested in GOLOS to succeed. I'm doing the air quotes thing, but the thing is, who gave you the right in a decentralized system to decide on behalf of all of the community without discussing that with the community? That was the question. Can you answer that?
Sorry, but you translating not correctly. So, in terms of
am I not? Okay.
Yeah. What we do?
Hold on.
I can answer you
before
as well.
answering the question, I'm sorry. Before answering the question, I would like to hear your correct translation of the question, please. Please translate the questions for us, so we can all agree that I did a shoddy correct translation thing, but I want you to translate it correctly. Please do this for me. Thank you.
I can answer your question in order to proceed further. So, in terms of who we are Cyberfund, and yes, we do have a stake in this particular thing. And yes, we have the money with which we fund basically GOLOS Cup. And yes, we do have some things that we want to implement on this particular blockchain, GOLOS blockchain. Yes, I do think that we didn't communicate well enough to you or to the community in terms of our plans. So this is our mistake, I think, and we had to communicate more, and we had to make our plans.
А какой смысл communicate more, если все равно решаете вы?
Yes, we do think that right now, one thing that we have to discuss is the hard fork that we have, and we really want this hard fork to be implemented. And if you have anything to say in terms of this particular hard fork, then
why are you sure that it will be implemented? Why are you sure? Why are you sure that you have a quorum?
I'm telling that we want this to be implemented. So
It's your problem. It's your problem that you want. I ask you, why are you sure that it will be implemented? Why are you sure that delegates will not block your hard fork? Why? So you're so sure that you don't want to reach the consensus?
Sorry, but you have to listen to me. So I want this to be implemented. If you have something to discuss in this particular hard fork, you can discuss it with me right now.
I discuss it right now. I'm really interested. Why are you so sure that your hard fork will be accepted by the witnesses? If the witnesses already told you, and you don't have a quorum already, that they don't accept your hard fork on the terms that you want.
Nobody has said that we are sure. What Marina has said is that she wants the hard fork to be implemented. She never used the word "I am sure," right? And second, I mean, you are sure that the quorum is against. Okay, maybe not.
It's just 4 delegates from the top that say no, and that's all. And I know that 4 we have at least.
Okay, well, let's speak about the hard. Speak about your thinking of who is or who is not against it.
No, I will not speak about it. It will show on the moment of hard fork. I'm just curious. No, I don't see any wish from your team to reach the consensus. We organized this chat with all investors and different crews inside to reach consensus with your team. One entity with a big on different terms, on different points. All your points, all what you want. Personally, me, I don't give a fuck about what you want. I have my interest in this blockchain. So, like investor, you will need to find the consensus with me as well, even if you don't want it. And I think the guys like I am that invest in this blockchain, I'm not only one who are not support your point of view on this blockchain and how you want to develop this blockchain, because you don't try to find any consensus with community. You just come and show how you want to do it and how it's better for you, but you don't talk about what's better for the community. And this is your problem.
Sorry, but we are here to discuss one particular issue. Yes, I accept your unsatisfaction with our communication with the investors of the delegates. Yes, I think that I'm clear in terms of our plans for the GOLOS. I would like to work share these ideas, particular ideas in terms of making blockchain better and more compatible and
How much developers you have in a team? How much developers you have in a team?
How many developers in which?
Yes,
Four.
how many?
4 CPP developers.
How
Four
much? How much developers
How
you
many?
have in the team?
How many?
We have. How many?
4 developers in
Backend, in GOLOS Core, right?
The 4th is coming the next week.
yes. So in terms of what we can discuss right now and we want to discuss right now is this particular hardfork. If you have something to suggest, what do we have to improve for this particular hardfork, taking into consideration that everything that is implemented now within this particular hardfork, you're welcome. So.
Okay, we don't like linear that it's not implemented linear rewards. How you will comment on this?
Yeah, I had already commented, so I won't say anything.
So hardfork doesn't pass.
No, I don't think so. It's your particular point of view. We won't implement linear function right now. We will test these different functions and this as well. And so if you have the results of this testing, and if you did this particular testing, you're welcome to just show us your results. Next question, please.
We will see on a hardfork. Okay.
Next question, please.
Does anybody ask Marina about using binders, I don't know, and Cyberfunds accounts in terms of delegates, ups and downs?
To whom is this question?
Well, from me, Mr. Green.
No, to whom? To whom is the question?
To whom?
Well, let's say to you,
Yeah, it
Marina.
was.
Let's say to you, Marina. Yep.
Yeah, and what is the question?
Can
Why?
you please repeat the question in particular?
Because I just want to ask you.
Бендер это живой человек или как бы это твой второй аккаунт? Ну, если...
Nah, these are different people. And Cyberfund account is Cyberfund account, and process.
And just how do you use it? You know, in terms of delegates, ups and downs, just how do you use it? How do you decide that this particular witness should go up or should go down? How do you use it?
I don't think you understand. This is a real.
So it's a person he decides. What do you mean?
Cyberfund account. Cyberfund is a person.
Cyberfund account is Cyberfund account.
We're talking about a different account.
So he don't vote for the witnesses Cyberfund account, or he vote for the witnesses.
Wait a second. He asked about account by the name of.
I asked font account that was declared like a technical account from the ICO, and I asked the question: do you use this technical account to upload the witnesses?
In terms of witnesses, Cyberfund voted for the witnesses, but it was, I don't remember. Yeah, so I don't remember when it was.
Today, it happened today. Cyberfund voted for witnesses today. You don't remember doing that? Was it compromised?
Who decides to who?
Cyberfund voted? Are you sure?
No, I think Cyberfund voted for the Kuna, but it was not today. The vote for the Kuna, Cyberfund voted for the Kuna, and it was not today.
Okay. What is your next question? What is your next question?
Why you use technical account that you promised don't use for voting for the witnesses? Why you broken the social agreement with the community?
You are acting like, you know, business models.
Guys,
Please answer my simple question. Why
Yeah,
you
yeah,
broken
yeah.
the social agreement with community by voting with the technical account for the witnesses and that you promised to don't do so?
Okay, then so it's not me who promised it. I mean, me as person. So, and I don't remember this particular thing. If you can just point out when and where and who particular from Cyberfund just promised something like this, I would really appreciate it. In terms of voting for the witnesses.
Okay, guys, I think that we have.
But if you have another question, I can answer. Yeah, for sure. 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's what
yes.
I'm saying. 5-10 minutes, maybe
Yeah.
finish stuff.
So, in terms of Cyberfund, yep, I'm just waiting for you when and who, because it was not me.
So as far as I understood, that Bender is a human, yeah?
Yep.
And he decides to vote or not, whatever, on golos.io or for witnesses by himself.
Yeah.
He is a real person, yeah?
Yeah, he is a real person.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, another question? Okay, if you don't have any questions, then that's it. Yeah, I think that we will try to improve what we have right now in terms of communicating our goals for the GOLOS blockchain, basically, because we do think that it's in our interest to make you a part of these consensus in terms of making GOLOS better and more successful. And I do think that the only one opportunity for the GOLOS to become compatible and comparable with the Ethereum blockchain or EOS blockchain. And right now we have a very unique chance just to upgrade GOLOS and to do better blockchain.
Good luck with Hardfork. See you next time.
Marina, please answer, please. Just look at the chat here in Discord where we have a transaction when you approved Kuna witness.
Yeah, okay. Marina improved Kuna witness. No, Marina is me.
Yeah, why you did that?
Because I want it. This is it. I wanted to improve to vote for Kuna because Kuna is one of the exchanges that supports GOLOS token.
Okay, that's nice, but don't you a part of a Cyberfund team?
Kuna is not a part of the Cyberfund team, no.
I'm asking Marina, is she a part of the Cyberfund team?
Yes, I am a part of the Cyberfund team. And what?
Did not you, as a part of a Cyberfund team, promised that you will never, how to say that? I don't know. Impact on GOLOS, all the GOLOS, I don't know, ups and downs.
No. So I invested my personal money into GOLOS. So I'm voting when I'm voting person, not a part of Cyberfund.blue. team. So it's my position as an investor in GOLOS. Another question, maybe.
So who trusted not to impact on goals?
So everybody, we are right now a little bit repeating maybe. So in terms of personal views and the personal actions, so there are different people who act as investors, and some of these people they also work for Cyberfund. So, but then they're making their personal decisions, and they're free to make their decisions. So, and this is what we have. In terms of developing the blockchain, GOLOS blockchain, I do believe that we have to work together if you want to make this blockchain better and just more compatible than it is right now.
What about the license?
What do you mean, what about?
Well, I mean, you and your team is proclaimed like open source supporters, the guys that support by the money open source development, and any corner call about the open source. Why you don't open the code base like the GOLOS? Why you don't? You don't need a lot to do it. It's very easy. Why don't you put an MIT license, for example?
У меня такой вопрос. А вы понимаете, что после сегодняшнего разговора никто больше из умных людей не поверит в ваши разговоры про децентрализованный блокчейн GOLOS? Потому что после того, как 100 раз сказали мы и что стек у нас есть, как бы разговаривать про блокчейн, как бы смысла нет, его можно выключить, ну и как бы как ВКонтакт продолжать какие-то токены выплачивать для красоты.
Это все попадет в эфир и во все каналы, которые вообще возможно будет достать. Вся эта дискуссия будет вынесена в паблик.
Perfectly well. So it's really great, especially when you're talking about developing the GOLOS blockchain, just the way you want to develop.
No, it's more about talking about Cyberfund screwing their investors. That's kind of puts a stain on your reputation.
So, sorry, may I answer the question that was asked before?
Sure.
So, in terms of developing the code base, yes, we do think that because code base should be developed, and we do think that in terms of future forks, if you mean this, if you understood correctly, so the whole community and the investors will gain from the suggested distribution for 1% to GOLOS core team and 1% to the community. There will be new forks from this particular GOLOS blockchain. If you have other suggestions in terms of how the community and the investors could benefit from the new forks, you can suggest. We have to finish this talk right now because I do appreciate what you basically we discussed already, and
so you don't actually value your reputation as a team, right?
Sorry, can you repeat?
You don't actually value your reputation, do you?
No, we do value our reputation.
Okay.
And we do believe that when we suggest something that from which all the community and the blockchain will benefit, that we will just.
I'm sorry. I have another question. Do you understand how decentralization works? Do you?
Yes, I believe that I understand how decentralization works.
Can you please explain it to us? Because
no. Right now, I won't go into this particular discussion.
No. I'm not talking about. I don't want you to describe how decentralization works. I want you to describe how you believe it works.
So, in terms of this particular thing, GOLOS blockchain, there are delegates who can make proposals, who can work on code base, who can work on analytics, who can do a great good to GOLOS blockchain, working on different issues, and they definitely can vote on proposals, and they could make proposals, and they should definitely make proposals, and they should definitely work on code base, and they should definitely work on analytics as well. And so I do think that if we will have delegates who are doing this particular thing, then we will have a very good community in terms of people just making GOLOS great. So guys,
okay, thank you that you joined to us this evening. We will see you after the failed hard fork, and we continue discussion.
Yeah, I do hope that we will continue our discussions after the successful hard fork, and I do want you to as good investors to do everything possible to make this hard fork happening. Thank you very much.
So everyone listen to the bosses.
Wow.
I told you so, dude. I told you so. I don't lie.
У меня просто нет слов. То есть, как бы,
у кого
на
они
самом
есть?
деле, произошло то, о чем, как бы, мы все давно знаем, как бы, и в чем мы не сомневаемся, как бы. Ребята просто посмотрели на то, что первые 3 месяца всем было абсолютно посрать на то, что происходит. Они решили, что у нас до хрена стеков, мы тут такие мега активные, и мы можем делать все сами, и плевать нам на всех, и как бы эта политика реализовывается.